what for whatever reason, getting an amendment in place prior to the House committee hearing was not possible. We've been doing a lot of stakeholder outreach to, various organizations that, have long been involved in this issue, and you know, the sense that we're getting from these conversations is that the larger stakeholder community is really supportive of getting this implementing legislation in place. So our hope is that the when the bill crosses over into the Senate and is ready for its hearing in Senate State Affairs, which we expect to happen around sometime mid-March, that Katie Wallace will be amenable to an amendment that will allow this institution into the bill. Um, that's kind of where the conversation is right now. All of this is still in play, but because by and large the stakeholder community does seem very supportive of this, Katie Wallace herself, I believe, has indicated that she is supportive of it, but did want, kind of confirmation from, where the community was on this. Since those two things seem to be aligning, I think that we're in a decent place to see this move forward, though, certainly not a done deal yet. But that's kind of where we are right now. I At this point, outreach and just kind of the overall push will continue, but I think we are hopefully in a good place to pursue this amendment for the hearing in Senate State Affairs. Celeste, I don't know if you want to maybe jump in. I know you've got a much better handle on the more in the weeds details than me. If you'd like to add something or certainly correct anything that I may have misspoke to.
Um, I thought everything you said was correct, except I would give a huge shout out to the team that's working on it because they've really worked hard to get more people on board. It's been like rolling a rock up a hill, and now it feels like we're on more of a level playing field. Things might
Mhm.
happen. So kudos to all the people working on this. I think Dylan deserves a lot of credit.
He absolutely does. Dylan Rankin with RCD for Longmont has been really kind of leading the push and the conversations where Katie Wallace is concerned. Um, because part of Senator Wallace's district includes Longmont, I don't actually know if Dylan is specifically one of her constituents, but he's certainly a member of her larger community, and this is becoming a really pressing issue in Longmont as they're wanting to move forward with the study and getting this implemented in their own local elections. So I think Senator Wallace and I think Dylan really deserves a lot of credit for being able to illustrate to her sort of the fact that the time is here. There's a pressing need for implementing rules sooner rather than later. So yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with Celeste that he's been really integral in this effort, and the outreach has really been a team effort. So it's great when that happens.
Isn't it? Mhm. Any questions on that effort?
Yeah, this is Wes Sawyer. I'm sorry, I'm not quite up to speed on the details of your initiative, but we're generally supportive of. I'm with the Colorado Forward Party, and we look for opportunities to pour gas on any good governance legislation that is burning. And so we would like to come alongside you and support this. And so I know that our issues subcommittee keeps track of these issues as they come before the legislature, and we try to coordinate with our membership to participate or maybe become witnesses at committee hearings if that's appropriate. So we we could coordinate. You could let us know when those events take place. We would be glad to try to rally our membership to support it. And I do have a question, a little bit about the specifics here. We're talking about multi-winner RCV elections. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Specifically at the municipal level.
And there's some sort of a technical impediment that's impeding Longmont from getting that done?
Well, not just Longmont, really any municipality in Colorado. There's a
Okay.
statutory authorization for them to elect to implement STD in their municipal elections. But the Secretary's office has never promulgated rules to guide the process.
Right.
And, as I mentioned at the beginning, Celeste has had a lot of conversations trying to figure out initially if there was a way for us to push for that to happen without additional legislation. But end of the day, answer we received was that no, it's going to require enabling legislation for them, to be able to do that. So that's where we've focused all of our efforts since. And that's why we see this as being so appropriate for inclusion in the cleanup bill, because it really is just about implementing rules for a legal right that municipalities already hold under state law. So, there's no forced opt-in. It's a purely voluntary thing. It's just trying to make the path easier for municipalities that choose this.
Okay, that's excellent. Thank you for that review. I appreciate it. Quick question. Do you know if Bob Marshall has been asked to support this? Representative? You're talking about a Senate bill, I take it, right?
Well, it wouldn't be a standalone bill. The idea would be for it to be an amendment to House Bill 1113, which is the elections cleanup bill. We had been contemplating, and we will continue to contemplate a standalone bill if this process that we're pursuing right now ends up not being able to go forward. Honestly, I think the odds of us being able to get a late bill around this at this, point in the session would be very difficult. So, we kind of consider that plan B. Plan A for us is to really push to get this in the cleanup bill.
Okay.
And we feel like there's a decent path for that to happen now. So we're pretty optimistic. But if for whatever reason, things go wrong and that ends up not being a possibility, then we'll revert to plan B or plan C being, it becomes an effort for 2027. But one way or another, this is definitely a priority that we want to keep pushing.
Okay. And I'm sorry to monopolize so much time, but
no, this is great. This is why we're here.
Is there an opportunity for, Bob Marshall's, really been proactive on a lot of good governance bills. He hasn't gotten very far, right? He's representative, and we just know he's a friend of good governance. And if he can support you or help you out in any way, I don't know if he's on the right committees or not, but just wanted to put that bug in your ear.
Right. Yes, I absolutely agree with you, and it's certainly a point well taken.
Okay.
Celeste, did you want to jump in on that?
Yeah, I talked to June Churchill, who is Rep. Marshall's aide, on Saturday, and she said that they have been very busy with another bill he's working on, I think air quality maybe, that's this week. And it sounded like they hadn't necessarily even read my emails that I'd sent them. So I've been talking to Bob Marshall about, or trying to reach out to him about like a guest opinion that I wrote about county commissioner elections for the Boulder Reporting Lab. And I think I've been talking to them about this enabling legislation for proportional multi-winner ranked voting, but they seem wrapped up in the other bill at the moment.
Okay. Fair enough. And yeah, I understand there's limited bandwidth for everybody involved. So, got it.
Well, and one thing I'll mention really for everyone on the call is that we have been putting together a fact sheet and endorser list that I expect will be ready for external circulation, I'm thinking tomorrow. So I'd be happy to get that out to all of you. Certainly, we would love for everyone to, have solid understanding of what we're trying to do, so you can help spread the word, and also, if you can add your name and logo to the endorser list, that would be wonderful.
Okay, I'm going to put my email in the comments, and if you could email me that endorser list, we will probably bring it before our executive committee meeting, and it would be our state chair that would sign and endorse.
Great, that would be fantastic.
Okay.
And
super.
If you could send it to me too, I could take it to the RCV for Colorado board. We have a new interim executive director, and we're undergoing a state of change right now, but we could still probably get it on
Is
that
that
endorsement.
Lucia, Tom?
Is that Lucia?
Yeah.
No, Lucia is her.
Okay.
Yeah, Lucia Brown is our board president now.
Okay.
And our interim director is Noah Stout.
Okay.
And he's maybe a 90-day executive director, unless it gets extended.
Okay.
Trying to help us get us through some crazy things that are going on.
Is Lucia now sole president, or?
Yeah, we had co-chairs. It was John Lemke of Longmont and Lucia Brown. Now it's Lucia Brown as president, John Lemke as vice president. We separated that out. Yeah.
And John Lemke is also with the Forward Party. Is Lucia a League of Women Voters member?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
She's the one who talked to you, Beth, I think, right? So that's why I was wondering if she was a league person, but I think she just reached out to you way back.
She's a Denver a citizen, and is trying to spearhead or at least assist with the effort that will happen there someday, which I hear is not this year.
And she has represented RCV for Colorado at Courageous Colorado meetings and retreats. And that's, that's when I've mainly talked to her.
Right. So that's good. I'm glad you've met her.
Yeah. Anything else about the rules promulgation sexy topic? Okay. Welcome, Tom.
Oh, thanks.
Celeste, while I've got you here, are there any other updates you would like to give to this group as, oh, there goes, I hope I didn't make him uncomfortable. Any other updates you'd like to give to this group as the immediate past chair?
I'm pretty tired.
That's valid. Any thoughts about the future direction of this task force, or?
Celeste, can I interrupt just one quick second to say, if Beth, if I'm not needed for any more on PRCB, I need to hop off for a bit. I can always rejoin. I was trying to type that from my phone and I can't get the chat box to come up. So sorry to interrupt.
No, thank you, Andrea. I appreciate you popping in for that great update.
No problem. And we'll circulate those fact sheets as soon as I get the okay tomorrow.
Great to see you, Andrea.
Oh, thank you, Celeste. You should, well, sort of see you. I know you said your camera wasn't working.
Mhm.
All right. Well, goodbye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Have a great evening. So really, the rest of this meeting is devoted to where should this task force go? We are currently somewhat leaderless. That said, there are lots of ways to work around that. But if I know Celeste is going to be a tough act to follow, so I would love. Go
So,
ahead, Celeste.
the RCV for Colorado group needs a vehicle. I don't know, just saying.
You mean a
Okay.
forum? By a
Okay.
vehicle, you mean by a forum, Celeste?
A forum, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll reach out to Noah. I have already a couple times and I haven't been successful.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has to be a league member who leads it. So that's,
Absolutely.
yeah.
But yes, I agree with you that there's an opportunity there and well, the time is ripe for partnership.
Yeah, I think so. That'd be a very interesting thing. We have myself and Kirk Sarl is also on our board.
Mhm.
He's another member of the League of Women Voters. But it'd be nice to
Absolutely.
have some sort of partnership finally.
It really would.
Hey Beth, I know it's not really germane to this particular meeting, but the Colorado Ford Party would also like to see, have some meetings with the appropriate people at League of Women Voters and look for some opportunities to collaborate on events.
Well, that's going to be a little bit of a toughie, Wes. As a nonpartisan organization,
Right.
we really hesitate just due to the optics.
Mhm.
We don't want to look like we're favoring any one
Mhm.
party over the other.
Understood.
That said, you and all members are always welcome.
It's
Uh,
kind of an interesting party because
mhm.
it's perfect for secretaries of state and county clerks to run from that party because it's about democracy, election reform, accountability, transparency, data-driven decisions, talking to your constituents. Nothing is said about guns, foreign affairs, abortion, nothing. As long as you're
Mhm.
listening to your constituents and and you're held accountable to them, it's a very interesting party. It's almost a nonpartisan party, except for democracy, very pro-democracy. But I understand that you can't change the rules for one party.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So it's just tough to have a party logo right next to ours.
Of
Right.
course.
Understood. And we're sensitive to that as well. So,
I
um,
appreciate that.
of course, and we appreciate everything that you are doing, though. It's a great.
Well, I mean, honestly, back at you. We appreciate any group that pushes
There's
forward democratic reforms.
some of you have mentioned. I think I heard somebody mention Courageous Colorado already.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah, I love Dave. He's awesome.
Landon Mascarenas is the executive director, and
Yeah. But
and
Dave is the one from the Forward Party who usually attends
Dave
Courageous
Ryan,
Colorado.
Dave,
Yeah,
yeah, Dave Ryan, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so one of the things that we're going to be working on, I'm also affiliated with Courageous Colorado Action, which
Great.
is a new organization that they've formed and are standing up. And one of the things we'll be working on, there are a ton of people and organizations that are working in various aspects of the political reform movement. And it really is a movement. And unfortunately, it's very dispersed and unfocused. And you've got I wouldn't be surprised if nationwide there's over 100 organizations that are working in the general political reform space. They're all attacking different pieces of the pie, and the resources are directed and not coordinated, and there's very little collaboration going on. And there's such an opportunity to find ways for us to collaborate and amplify all of our messages and get them out to the people. But we've got to more people and to give a better overall impression of the size of the movement, right? Because people look at individual groups and there may be, under 50 people in a state. Well, that doesn't impress anybody. But if you put all these groups together and all of a sudden you've got an alliance or a coalition of all these organizations together, you got just more clout in it, and it's more credible. So we're going to be looking at facilitating that. And I understand, so that would be a nonpartisan initiative that the League of Women Voters certainly could come alongside of and help us out.
Great. How do you see that as different than what Courageous Colorado is doing?
Well, Courageous Colorado does the listening tours and the activation tours, and they're because of the tax constraints, there's very little direct politics that they can get involved in. But they formed this new 501c4 organization that has much more latitude with respect to involvement directly in politics. Mm-hmm. And that's the organization that I'm helping them stand up. I'm going to be a member of the board, and we're going to be working on trying to pull together resources, build some kind of an alliance and coalition, and amplify the need, the problems that we face in with our political system, the two-party system, essentially, and and see if we can get some more traction that way, collaborating.
Great. Okay, well, let's be in touch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tom and Jen, and Celeste, well, and Wes, of course. Where would you like to see this task force go? Would you like to see us try to continue Celeste's legacy, and just continue as an educational and an educational task force with calls to action?
Yeah, I guess that's my the only model I've been thinking of, and I think we could do a lot if we could broadcast, I guess, beyond this task force to, I don't know, other parts of the League of Women Voters. Is there a way to do that? I mean, to take the ideas that are sort of nascent with the reform in Colorado and take it to other groups, because I'm a member of League of Women Voters in Adams County. I haven't really been very participative. I said that word wrong. I'm sorry, but
you got it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And I think they want me to be on their board. We're going to see, but they're going to ask me now to start finding things to present, to the and why can't that happen in all the different county things where the task force, maybe even if it's zoomed in, gives a presentation on the reforms that are kind of coming from this direction. Like, that would help educate those groups. I don't know how educated those groups are, individual counties, on voting reforms. How about that idea?
And when you say individual counties, do you mean league chapters or
Yeah,
actual?
I mean league chapters.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, league
Sure.
chapters.
Offer
our services if we have if we could come up with a presentation that talks about the ideas that come from this venue,
Absolutely. Celeste?
So, one thing that's coming up is the primary election reform study. And this group is a natural place to get the word out, to hold a informational meeting about it, maybe a consensus meeting. There are different ways that studies lately are turning into program positions, but I think the date that was talked about yesterday was March 15th for having the final report done. Can you believe it?
No.
Well, I'm going to go turn off my tea water.
Okay. Wow. I didn't realize
that was a date, I believe or March 30th maybe was March 15th was the date to finish the study. And then March 30th, I think, was the date to have the consensus questions ready. So that's one thing. And then another thing that has been an important function of this group is if there is a ballot measure, like last year there was Prop 131, and we made a recommendation after hearing the pros and cons, and that went to, I think, the board, and then the board, I don't think it went to LIC. I think it went to the board, but maybe it went to LIC. Anyway, that's another place where this is an important group.
Absolutely. And Celeste, what group is doing the study?
Marcus Ogren is the leader of it. I mean, it's LWVCO, but it's mostly people in Boulder County working on it. Deborah Lykin has in La Plata County has worked on it some. Marcus is actually in Israel.
That was my next question. Is he still in Israel?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yep.
And that this is too late for this year's convention.
I think that's okay.
Great.
I mean, I don't think we're going to sweat that detail.
Excellent.
We were able to weigh in on Prop 131 without having the study done. So, yeah.
For those who aren't really fluent in League of Women Voters lingo, a study is the first step in the league taking a position on an issue. Taking a position on an issue is mandatory before any league member can act or provide advocacy on an issue. A study is a 360 view from all sides, lots of input, debate, and then a study is brought to the membership. More debate, and then the group comes to consensus or not on if this study should become a permanent league position. The league does it this way so that A, we stick to our grassroots nature, and B, so that leagues around the state, in this case, can all speak with one voice on what we believe on that issue. So that the La Plata County League isn't saying something completely different about what we think should happen with primary elections than the Denver League, for instance. Everyone's on the same page. Does that make sense?
Well, where does the debate take place?
There will be. So Celeste was saying that the study will potentially be done by the 15th, with position questions being ready by the end of March. At that point, Celeste and her group, including Marcus in Israel, will likely call several meetings via Zoom to bring our statewide membership together. The study itself will be distributed ahead of time, as well as the position questions. And the questions are meant for members to just ponder so that they can truly understand and come to consensus or not. Not everyone agrees. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Celeste, do you want to put anything in there?
We told Marcus that because this is a state study, before it gets too far and before it goes out to public stakeholders, it should go to Kathy and Linda for them to look at it.
Yes, absolutely. That's our action and advocacy team.
And we,
Yeah.
I mean, one of the thoughts is to run this by political parties to see what they think of it and what questions or issues they have, so we can address those things too. So anyway, yeah.
Okay, well, that's exciting. I didn't know you were so close to being finished. I am thrilled.
Me too. And partly because they're doing it kind of without me.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it nice to be able to hand the ball to somebody else? Cool. Any other thoughts on the forward direction of this group? And let me ask a more pointed question. As this group is without leadership, would you all be willing to pitch in a small amount and say, maybe look for a speaker, or even throw out an idea for a speaker or a topic that I or one of my colleagues could follow up on?
Bob Marshall said he was interested in speaking to this group again.
Right.
So as his bill goes through. So anyway.
Good to know.
I could pitch in somehow. A small bit. I'm
Right,
not sure
yeah.
exactly how this right now, but yeah.
That's fine. I'm not asking you to be chair. I'm just asking folks to, throw out ideas for meeting topics. So, but we've got a couple already, which is great.
This is my first meeting, so I just wanted to say
Oh,
hi, first of all.
bless your heart, Jen.
And
You're
maybe
probably like, what the
I'm
hell?
like, I'm
Yeah.
not doing,
Jen, I recognize your name.
I do too.
Are you, have you signed up for a meeting and not attended maybe, or?
I don't think so because let me introduce myself.
Hey,
Jen Roland, I just moved to the Denver area like a few months ago. Um,
welcome.
Thank you. My parents have lived here for about a decade, which is why we landed here, myself and my family. I come from the international political development world, and so that job disappeared last year in the foreign aid cuts, which because it was mostly funded by USAID. I've been abroad for the last several years, but a lot of thinking and exposure to different electoral systems around the world, and that was my work. Um, and have also done some political activism here in the US when I was living here before, not in Colorado, obviously, and just looking for ways to get plugged in. So I found this task force and I signed up. I hope that's okay. I'm not a member yet,
Of
but
course. No, that's fine. No,
I just wanted to
non-members
kind of
are welcome.
cool. I wanted to see what it was about. It's a topic that I believe in, think is interesting. Wanted to see what you guys are doing. So I'm still in a bit of a learning stance here to understand what the task force does. But yeah, happy to contribute where I can or be part of the conversation about how it can move forward.
Great.
You know,
Thank you.
Yeah.
with your international background, the first topic they were talking about was this task. This amendment to a bill to do PRCV, proportional ranked choice voting.
Hmm.
It'd be interesting to know if you have looked at the different proportional representation election systems in different countries. Are you knowledgeable about that material?
I mean, I've been exposed to a couple different systems, I guess. I couldn't spout off right now on the spot, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I have some sort of basic knowledge of them, having worked in a couple of different systems. I was mostly working in the Middle East and North Africa.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so yeah, it would be interesting if there were certain countries that we wanted to look at. We could talk about that. I would have to like kind of do my own research to think about kind of what
Yeah.
makes sense to translate here and all of that stuff. But yeah, it's an interest. If that's of interest, I think that's an interesting topic to explore how that works in other places.
Where were you in the Middle East and North Africa? Just curious.
Yeah, I worked in Iraq. I didn't live in, but I did a lot of work in Lebanon, and then spent quite a long time in Tunisia,
Okay.
and then a little bit of time in Morocco.
And you speak Arabic, maybe?
Yeah.
Good for you. I lived in Bahrain for 9 months.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting one.
Well, there are a lot of expats there.
Yeah. 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 That's
Um,
interesting.
and I went and saw a solar eclipse in Libya during Gaddafi's time.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
right during spring break. My kids missed 1 day of school. That was it.
Oh my gosh. That is wild. I've never been to Libya. My husband has, so you could exchange stories with him, but after the revolution, so different time.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have Jen. It's fascinating. Love to sit down and just pick your brain on a bunch of stuff. But one of the things that uh, I think this is a little bit of a personal opinion, but when we're talking about election reform, what we're really focused on is, I think, what we should focus on, let's say, is changing the incentives that the participants in the process respond to. Right now, because of the two-party system, everything is about the partisan primary. And that's how control is exerted by the parties or certain individuals, right? You don't want to get primaried. And the incentives for our elected officials are not to collaborate for that reason, right? And I'm sure you guys understand that. And my question really is about proportional representation. because I'm not sure that that changes those incentives. What I'm concerned with is that if I have a anytime I have a constituency that is narrow in some way, right? Whether it's, a political party, or it can even be a geographic region, or, a lot of times people are looking for racial representation in their governing bodies, and they see proportional representation as a solution to that. And it may very well be. So I'm not exactly being dogmatic about this, because I'm kind of asking the question and maybe planting a seed of question about the proportional aspects of this, and will they have the same effect to change the incentives towards compromise, as opposed to I represent this group, and if I get crossways with this group, I'm in trouble, and so I can't do that, right? I can't collaborate. I can't give anybody else any space, because I'll get crossways with whatever the group is that I represent. So that I just wanted to share that, and I apologize for injecting my personal questions in there.
Hey Wes, can I recommend a book?
Yeah.
It's called what's it called, Celeste? Breaking
the two-party doom loop.
Doom loop.
Oh yeah. That's Lee Drutman's book, and I right on, brother, because I recommend that book every chance I get.
I wrote a book review about it for the League of Women Voters newsletter in Boulder County.
Oh,
there
awesome.
You go.
Yeah, that's just super.
Well,
that's kind of the roadmap. So why did you think that
that's
was
about proportional representation? That book's all about multi-winner RCV, proportional representation.
Okay.
That's probably
I remember that Lee. It's been a while. That book's been out a few years, and it's been a while since I read it. So I'll go back and review it on your recommendation, Tom.
That may be the confusing thing, is when people say proportional representation, sometimes they get fixated in the systems of other countries that are not RCV.
Well, RCV is great, but I'm not sure. So proportional representation generally, and I don't know about the specifics you guys are talking about in this. I guess it's in Longmont that they're trying to implement this, or
yes,
that's already been.
That's a goal.
Yeah, and I'm not, anything is an improvement over what we got. So
well, it does change the incentives.
Okay. If that's the case, I'm very interested. I'll go back and look and see what Drutman said about that.
Yeah, I think I directly associate multi-winner RCV with proportional representation, so it's one and the same thing in my mind. But I've noticed that for various people, it isn't. They hear RCV and they think of only instant runoff voting, and don't realize that the multi-winner system provides a means to proportional representation.
Oh, okay. That to me, I make it's not clear that the proportional representation is the same thing as multi-winner.
It is multi-winner RCV. I'm saying proportional represent. That's why here they're calling it proportional RCV.
Okay.
But it could be called single transferable vote. That's the more technical term.
I think
it could be called multi-winner RCV. Various.
In Colorado, there are only two kinds of ranked voting allowed. One is the instant runoff voting single winner kind, and the other is the proportional multi-winner kind that has that wonky name, single transferable vote. It's a multi-winner version that uses single transferable vote.
Okay.
But there are other kinds of RCV, and I put in the chat an article that the league put out called "What is RCV Anyway?" And There's one particularly bad kind of multi-winter RCV used in Utah that we are holding the guardrails on. It's not coming to Colorado. No way, no how.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
Celeste
Block
says that the
preferential.
league put that out, but she wrote it. The league
The,
did put it out.
the league had it vetted.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was a group effort in Boulder County.
Fair enough.
So, and the Boulder County article is mentioned. So there's one of the bad RCV kind in Utah. Link doesn't work anymore, but I can send you the updated link. I
Do you,
asked them.
do you know if they're still using it? Because I know that they voted down their trial, extending their trial period in Utah.
I know that
The
the Utah League of Women Voters had testified in favor of extending the trial, I believe.
But I thought I read that the pilot program was ended or is ending.
It may be
Unfortunately,
that, yeah, it was supposed to end at some point. It may be by now it's ending, yeah. Although I think isn't Salt Lake City using it basically permanently now? It's not, we can
I
go to
I
Fair
don't
Vote.
know.
We can go to the Fair Vote website. They tend to,
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm looking at this and I think so I don't these voting methods that you're describing, like single transferable vote, et cetera, that's not my concept of what proportional uh, voting was, but okay.
yeah. There's other forms of proportional representation.
Yeah.
That's why I asked Jen if she knew about some of those. It'd be interesting to hear how they do it in other countries. But
Yeah, and there's things
um,
that we want to avoid, like what you guys are talking
yeah,
about. I mean, you can look up what happened in the last U United Kingdom election, and that's an example of a system that we probably
yeah,
don't
that's a
really
winner
want.
take all system.
Exactly. It's a winner, it's proportional representation, but it's winner take all.
Yeah,
And it
it's a
can,
parliament, but it's not proportional at all, actually.
well, I know it's supposed to be, but it doesn't end up being proportional. And then, yeah, and then there are other, it also kind of depends some other rules like legislative rules, right? So what kind of majority do you need to pass certain things? Like that also determines, do you need to form coalitions or not? Or, what kinds of rules you have for passing legislation that impact what I think you're getting at, Wes, which is that incentive to cooperate and collaborate once folks are in power.
Mhm.
So lots of different like layers and of complexity when we talk about proportional rank choice and then get into the legislative rules
yeah.
too.
Oh, you're
The
going to love this group, Jen.
yeah, stick with us.
Cool.
um, the national act that they've proposed over several years is called the Fair Representation Act, and it's an act to use single transferable vote and to elect House members and get proportional representation out of multi-member districts. That's the idea there.
Mhm. I get that, and I think that those sound like they would be great systems, but yeah, maybe enlarging the house too, right? I mean,
Yeah, it'd be great.
700,000, 750,000 constituents, not exactly um, down to it's not something that people can really influence very much.
Unless you live in Wyoming.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And let's not even talk about DC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are just rock stars. I am loving this, and this is great. The expertise that's represented is just among these few people is impressive. So,
Please don't include me in that, Wes.
oh,
Um,
nonsense.
I'm the mere
Nonsense.
convener here.
Nonsense.
I may know more than the average voter, but nowhere close to what.
Well, yeah.
But Celeste, may I ask you and Marcus to present at the next your study at the next AVM task force meeting?
Marcus the time doesn't work for them.
Okay. Is there anybody else that could present?
Neil could probably present. Jen Clellan usually attends these meetings. She could probably present.
On the primary election reform study.
Yeah, I mean, it would be March 23rd, I'm guessing. That might be before we're ready.
Okay. Should we wait till April?
April, I think it should happen. Okay, yeah. April
Great.
20th, 420?
420, that's special Colorado Day.
Colorado Day.
Okay, I will, or Tom, are you able to reach out to Noah to see if he could attend the March 23rd meeting?
I don't know that he would be the best presenter of something.
Okay.
He's trying to help us navigate these waters of change that we're going through right now.
I see.
I think you should have something on the legislative happenings because that's right smack dab in the middle. So Andrea or Jerry Cummins or Holly or perhaps me or
Celeste, if you would like to present on the legislative happenings, I will snap that up.
I'm no longer officially a member of the LAC because of my candidacy. So, yeah, that might be a little difficult. But
do you feel that anyone from the elections and voting team would be appropriate?
Peggy is totally appropriate. She often has a conflict the third Monday of the month.
Okay.
Holly, I think could do it. I'm happy to be a backup. I'm not as aware as I normally am during a legislative session, but it's very interesting. County clerks are very aware of all of the election bills coming through, and they're keeping a close eye on them. And so when I talk to county clerks, I find out their opinions, and I've actually had my mind possibly changed on one bill. So
interesting.
And maybe two bills. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay, I appreciate those ideas. Thank you. Well, we are at time. Is there anything else for the good of the order?
Thanks for welcoming me to my first meeting.
You bet. Thank
hope
you for
come
coming.
Back.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks for your interest.
I sure.
And great. Thanks to all. Hope to see you on March 23rd. And be in touch if anything pops up of interest.
Great.
And Beth, if you want the email list of all the people who are on the distribution list, I can send it to you. Or maybe I already did. I don't know. But
I don't know.
I find sending a little reminder is helpful.
Great. I would appreciate that. That would be easier than me culling through and making another one. Thanks, Celeste.
Right. Okay. I'll send you that list right now.
Great.
Okay. It won't have Jen and Wes on it.
I understand.
Okay.
I can handle that.
Okay. Great.
Thanks.
Thanks so much, all.
All right.
Good
Thanks.
Take care.
Everybody.
Good night.
Good night.